We are examining an opinion article by Eugene Robinson from the Washington Post in today's newspaper. In the article, it's mentioned that voting for Biden and giving Democrats a bigger majority in the Senate can send Republicans into the wilderness to reform their party. Eugene Robinson argues that the GOP needs a crushing, unambiguous defeat to save itself from becoming a cult-like party. The author also points out that the GOP base seems unwilling to break free from the influence of Donald Trump.
Robinson highlights that the 2020 Republican National Convention didn't offer a party platform, but instead affirmed strong support for Donald Trump. The GOP is described as being held captive by Trump, who punishes perceived disloyalty with political execution. The article emphasizes the importance of healthy, fact-based competition between liberal and conservative viewpoints for a stronger democracy.
Democrats are offering border security without a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, but GOP senators are hesitant to support it due to Trump's opposition. Mitch McConnell changed his stance on a Senate bill for border security and Ukraine aid after Trump's New Hampshire victory, reflecting the GOP's alignment with Trump. The GOP is characterized as a party in disarray, facing the challenge of reforming itself after being soundly rebuked by voters.
Lindsey Graham famously warned that Trump would destroy the GOP. I hope he's right.
Lindsey Graham flopped back and forth like a daffodil in the wind. Here's another of his Trump comments. "You know what I liked about Trump? Everybody was afraid of him, including me."
Sounds like Stalinism or any other vicious totalitarian regime.
The GOP is not yet Stalinist, but it is becoming increasingly Orbanist.
And this transition is not due solely to Trump and his MAGAs.
Every voter should be made aware of what Trump, the Republican Party, the Heritage Foundation, especially the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, the Federalist Society, especially in its fusion of libertarianism and Christian nationalism, the Koch Industries-affiliated American Legislative Exchange Council, ALEC, the Viktor Orban-friendly Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, AL, have in the works.
The agenda they have in place and the machinations they are prepared to carry out will be activated not only if Trump is re-elected in 2024, but also even if Trump is eliminated by a Zeus-hurled thunderbolt and another Republican candidate becomes president.
Today's Republican Party is not the party of the great emancipator. It is not the party of the Romneys or of Ronald Reagan. It is an increasingly corporatocratic and authoritarian force. It no longer deserves to be referred to as Republican.
Lindsey wants it, but the question is what exactly he wants, and why.
And where?
He's among the first to deserve to go the way of the dinosaur.
What a pathetic, ridiculous man.
Yes, 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 vote no, no, no.
Daffodils have a stiffer spined stem than Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, I was thinking more like a string of spaghetti that's been boiled for about an hour.
Republicans have wanted for years tougher border security, but dear leader Trump says no, and suddenly GOP senators are afraid to say yes.
Republicans in Congress clearly will not free their party.
This is a good, clear-talking column from Robinson. The problem is, all these quotes, the anti-American stances, the endless lying and grievance, the out-of-control hate and rage, the GOP smears, the propaganda and disinformation, are of this is the same as it was 2 years ago, and 4, 8, 20, 30, 40, and 60 years ago. The only difference is the extreme, cult worship of one man.
But that is nothing new either. Republicans worshipped and didn't dare cross other hateful, insulting, racist, white supremacy right-wing leaders over the decades, such as McCarthy, Nixon, Reagan, Hannity, Carlson, Rush Limbaugh, just to name a few.
What can save the GOP from itself? Defeat. Crushing, unambiguous defeat.
Yes, that is the only solution.
Trump's grip and his extreme, endless, bizarre fundraising, the lies and crimes, violence and treason are at a new level, but not new in themselves.
Trump revealed the Republican Party as it has always been.
I fully agree. Republicans must be utterly crushed in 2024, or this nightmare will never end. But even then, just as white supremacy, the Confederacy, and Nazism never really went away or even receded, MAGA is here to stay in America for generations to come.
America has never been in such peril. And our allies are clear now. America can never be trusted again. They see January 6th, clear treason and crimes, and yet the people who organized it run free and ever more wild with power over America. Would that their imaginary rapture would take them and allow the rest of us to make America great again.
Trump does not want the border fixed or even addressed. He wants the economy to crash so he can claim that he is the only one that can fix it. He will soon start to claim that the election in November will be stolen, because over the next 3 to 4 months his poll numbers are going to begin a steep decline. He is poison. He is the #1 cause of literally millions of families falling into discord. He has single-handedly ruined countless friendships. He has caused more than a few divorces. And he has blurred the line between actual truth and his truth. This isn't just pathological narcissistic behavior. It is actual evil. I will be among the millions who will celebrate on the day the devil comes to get his due and he shuffles off this mortal coil.
Just like he was afraid COVID would rock the economy and destroy his chances for re-election. So he decided to downplay it and tell his supporters it was a hoax. And that they shouldn't wear masks. Or get vaccines. What an evil, evil man.
The devil really is orange.
I really wish everybody would stop calling Trump a bully. It diminishes what he is. He is high in psychopathy, as conceptualized by psychologist Robert Hare.
So what goes into psychopathy? A person high in these dimensions is considered to be a psychopath.
Impulsive, check.
Glib, check.
Engagement in criminal activity, check.
Charming, check, to those that can stomach him.
Pathological liar, check.
Promiscuous, check.
Boastful, check.
Need I go on?
So no more calling him a bully, call him what he is, a psychopath that is taking our country to the brink of an authoritarian abyss. Don't think it can't happen here.
That Trump supporter is exactly the kind of person Trump would never hang out with, not for 1 minute.
99% of Trump supporters are people Trump himself despises. The rest are rich.
And he and they mutually despise each other, yet are mutually reliant upon each other. What miserable lives.
There may not be a more miserable person in America than that Trump guy who tweets incessantly at 3 a.m. because sleep won't have him. He's some tweeter.
Wapo, wake up. The decision to use this particular photo is exactly why so many people hate the liberal media and its readers.
Nothing like a Eugene Robinson commentary. The world needs more people like him.
A radical leftist, really? A wise man?
Not really. Read some of his past articles. He's a radical.
Sensible.
The fascists are working hard at the school board, city council and county commissioner level, and on up.
Resounding defeat needs to be state and local as well as national, and over several election cycles in my opinion.
Correct.
President Biden can win the popular vote by bazillions of American citizens' votes. However, the actual win is decided by where the votes are.
The Electoral College needs to be abolished.
The Electoral College is the original Trump University.
Held hostage by a man who punishes any perceived disloyalty with political execution.
Actually, the GOP is held hostage by tens of millions of conservatives who've been brainwashed by decades of hate-filled propaganda spewed by right-wing media to the point that they are rejecting democracy and welcoming authoritarianism, which has been the goal of right-wing media and their wealthy backers since the beginning. Too late. The Republican Party is gone. It's only the MAGA Party now. In the last few days alone, more and more have endorsed Trump. The RNC is ready to call him the presumptive nominee, even though Haley has not dropped out of the race. And mark my words, just as soon as she does, she'll endorse him. Republicans are gone, never to return. Kiss that delusion goodbye.
The current us versus them mentality is a race to the bottom, as the last few decades have demonstrated. The two parties are not equal, but the collective fates of their constituents is linked far more closely than anyone wants to admit. The hate cycle could be broken with a change the voting system. Runoff elections to allow multiple candidates from all parties on the ballot, guaranteeing that the winner is a candidate whom the majority respects, regardless of political party.
But only time will tell whether we dislike each other too much to solve our collective problems.
If only what you describe could happen. Not sure it's fixable, but I sure hope it is, or else there will be a lot of suffering for us all.
Pretty clear choice here. Destroy the Trump cult or let the Trump cult destroy our democracy.
A Biden win alone will not drive the GOP to reverse course on its transformation into the cultist party of Trump. Biden's win in 2020 wasn't enough to convince the GOP to abandon Trump. Even after his execrable post-election conduct with the big lie and 1/6, in fact, the party doubled down on its fealty to dear leader, seeing him, the big lie, and his feverish MAGAs as a way to obstruct and demonize Biden at every turn. This was possible only because of the Democrats' very narrow margins in the House and Senate. If we really want to destroy the GOP village of the damned in order to save it, Democrats must win by large margins in both houses of Congress, proving they and Biden have a mandate from the American people to bury the current party of grifting, anti-constitution, autocratic scoundrels once and for all.
Vote blue for Biden on down, and don't forget your state elections. As they've shown us for the past 3 years, state Republicans are the vanguard of MAGA autocracy.
Great comment.
Can we please dispense with the no-good choice idiocy? Biden is not charismatic or dynamic, neither is he an idiot and a traitor. He's a lifelong politician that knows how to get things done. He's old, he's sane, he's competent and highly qualified for the job at hand.
He loves this country. He is empathetic and caring. He respects the laws of the land, and he works tirelessly for the middle class.
He speaks softly. He ain't JFK, but he sure as hell isn't Mussolini with a bad comb-over and 5 pounds of bronzer who would gladly burn this world down to hide his incompetence.
This isn't the lesser of two evils. This is the choice between a good man and a malignantly evil man.
At this point, if you don't know the difference, then you are part of the problem and not the solution.
And there's this too.
1. Pass the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package to increase investment in the national network of bridges and roads, airports, public transport and national broadband internet, as well as waterways and energy systems.
2. Helped get more than 500 million life-saving COVID-19 vaccinations in the arms of Americans through the American Rescue Plan.
3. Stopped a 30-year streak of federal inaction on gun violence by signing the bipartisan Safer Communities Act that created enhanced background checks, closed the boyfriend loophole, and provided funds for youth mental health.
4. Made a $369 billion investment in climate change, the largest in American history, through the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022.
5. Capped prescription drug prices at $2,000 per year for seniors on Medicare through the Inflation Reduction Act. 6. Passed the COVID-19 relief deal that provided payments of up to $1,400 to many struggling U.S. citizens while supporting renters and increasing unemployment benefits.
7. Achieved historically low unemployment rates after the pandemic caused them to skyrocket.
8. Imposed a 15% minimum corporate tax on some of the largest corporations in the country, ensuring that they pay their fair share as part of the historic Inflation Reduction Act.
9. Strengthen the NATO alliance in support of Ukraine after the Russian invasion by endorsing the inclusion of world military powers Sweden and Finland.
10. Authorized the assassination of the al-Qaeda terrorist Ayman al-Zawahiri, who became head of the organization after the death of Osama bin Laden.
11. Gave Medicare the power to negotiate prescription drug prices through the Inflation Reduction Act while also reducing government health spending.
12. Held Vladimir Putin accountable for his invasion of Ukraine by imposing stiff economic sanctions.
13. Boosted the budget of the Internal Revenue Service by nearly $80 billion to reduce tax evasion and increase revenue.
Wonderfully put.
Excellent summary. Watch for deranged Trump puppets to claim all of this is fake and made up by Hillary and Hunter.
If only he didn't back Israel in the latest Middle East debacle.
That's unfortunate, but no reason to put an insane grifting psychopath in the Oval Office. At this point, it's Joe or fascism and chaos.
Exactly.
The GOP had a chance to get rid of Trump during his second impeachment trial. But nope, now they are struck with mentally ill cult leader.
And there you have it, folks. Another day at the office bashing Trump.